Emelonye, tell us what were your challenges or what motivated you to do this movie? Stop.
Okay.
Serious.
No, I needed to pay the bills, so I made a film.
That's not true.
No, you know, we have to continue to tell African stories and try to tell them in such a way that the world will begin to digest them properly. You know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. All we have to do is just continue to tell our story to our audience, our primary audience, and gradually we'll develop a secondary audience and a tertiary audience and on and on and on until the whole world cannot ignore us anymore.
That's right.
We're very close to that.
That's right. You tell the stories so beautifully. What's your opinion, or what do you think is the impact of the movie industry, you know, on the African economy?
You know, to give you an indication of what we are worth, because I think there is a sense of humility about the industry that is a bit misplaced, because we don't take ourselves seriously enough. When Nigerian economy was recalibrated with the entertainment section, entertainment sector inclusive, we became #1 economy in Africa. Before now, we were #2 because South Africa led the way. But as soon as the calculation involved entertainment, we skyrocketed to #1. And we're going to remain there because mainly entertainment complements the oil and all the natural resources Nigeria has. So for an industry that has very low entry requirements, in fact no barriers at all, you might be educated or not, you might speak English or not, you know, you might be old or young, you might be ugly or fine, it doesn't matter. So long as you have an appetite for this and you're willing to work, you will find a career in it. So he employs people, takes people off the streets, people that would have been prostitutes, people that would have been armed robbers. They now have something to do with their lives without robbing a bank, without even going to school, you know, because their talent is what's paramount. So it's absolutely imperative for Nigeria and wherever it's gone to in Liberia and Ghana, where it's employing more people than the government. It is great.
Thanks to great producers like you. Lastly, our change challenge. What change would you like to see in Africa?
I don't know. I think we need to stop corruption. Because if we stop corruption, then our natural resources that is abundant and almost infinite will begin to benefit everybody. At the moment, it's only benefiting a few. At the moment, the impunity with which corruption is happening is frightening. So if we curb corruption, then we can begin to fulfill our potentials.
We're live on the red carpet with the cast of the movie. Did you find it difficult choosing your cast?
To an extent, no. I think my character was actually meant for me because I just blended in, and I did the best I could to make sure I interpret the character, and that I will leave you to judge when you see the movie upstairs.
Okay, so what are your expectations for the movie?
It's a great movie. From the time I set my eyes on the script, I knew it had that wow factor, and it had a lot of potentials for the cinema as well as the family entertainment, you know, value of it, which is really, really important in our society. In terms of the script itself, it was a very good script, but Obi Emelonye, as always, brought it potentially to life and made the best that can ever be made from that script while we were working. As you will see upstairs, you have a cast of very professional actors and actresses in the movie, and we all give our best.
Good. In terms of potentials, what are the potentials you see Nollywood bring into Africa as a whole?
I don't think Nollywood is actually talking about Africa right now. It's talking about internationally, where do we meet, where do we sit in the map, and that's where we need to start acknowledging the work that Obi is doing, pushing us out, you know, in the diaspora and putting us where we are today. This is just one of the many efforts that he's putting to make sure that we are where we're supposed to be on the map.
And how does that affect Africa?
It's a good thing for Africa because we've come of age, we've done quite a lot in the international scene, and we have a lot of our sons and daughters contributing every day to the development of you know, the movie industry, and I think it's time we start being recognized.
Thank you. Lastly, our last question. This is not relating to Nollywood, but what change would you like to see in your local community in Africa?
I just want Africans to be proud of who they are and to start realizing what they have in them rather than looking out there, because we've got more to offer than where they're actually focusing at the moment.
You've heard it live at the red
how you doing?
carpet.
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm doing great.
And you're here to see the movie?
Yes, I am.
What are your expectations?
Well, I'm expecting nothing less than excellence from Obi.
Great.
He's a great director, and I expect the best from him.
In your opinion, what would you think is the impact of the movie industry in Africa as a whole?
Well, I know for one that the Nigerian Nollywood industry has added immensely to our GDP. So it's creating a form of digital democracy, as Obi would say, whereby people are liberated, to express themselves creatively, and it's amazing. It's great. And even in Africa, Nigeria is leading the way, and Ghana, Sierra Leone, everybody's following that way, and it's creating a lot of opportunities for people.
That's great. What part of Nigeria are you from?
I'm a Lagosian. I'm a Lasgidi guy. Yes.
All right, great. I'd just like to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
What one thing do you want to see change in the local community where you're from?
Well, in the local community where I'm from, in Ikeja, in Nigeria, well, I want to see the effort of the government there to just continue bringing about change, transformation in the people's lives, and most importantly, in Nigeria is leadership, ensuring that people get leadership skills, are empowered, and so they can be all they can be.
Great. Thank you ever so much. We'll have Ramsey Noah at the premiere for that will be done. And Ramsey's going to tell us, Ramsey, tell us about your views about this movie. What did it take?
I don't know, it didn't take that much actually. It was more like me playing a character of a pastor in the movie and having two wives. And I know that's not common, that's not very usual around town. So it's pretty cool, and that's the intriguing part about the story. It was really nice. I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
Yeah, what's in the movie? It's based on a real life scenario where, as a public figure, you're made to make choices. So, seeing yourself as a public figure, have you ever considered, people, your fans, and people who look up to you when you make critical decisions for your life, your own personal life?
Yes, I have. Yes, a couple of times. Yeah, you get into this dilemma situation, but not like two wives, anyways. No ways, man. One wife is enough burden. For a man in this time and age, it's almost impossible to have two wives. So yes, indeed, you get to come to that kind of crossroad where you have to make a decision, at some point, and then you decide very judiciously on which way to go. I mean, it's very hard. Like we use in the movie, you can tell that they apply the biblical sample of where God told him to pick a son, and then and he did it, But today, I don't know. If God asked me, take one of your child and sacrifice to me, I'll say, God, can you ask that question again?
One last thing. What's your opinion about the movie industry and its impact in Africa?
My opinion is that it's doing very well. It's enough, African story. We have enough stories. We have lots of stories. We have, as a matter of fact, I can't start counting. And we've not even started telling our stories yet. So we have a long way to go. And then, hopefully sky's the limit, Yeah, it is.
Thank you ever so much.
What change would you like to see in Africa? One. Just one.
What changed?
Yes.
In the whole of Africa? I would like the whole of Africa to have cinemas everywhere, and we can move into any country without visa.